Hello and welcome to the Jeddah Street circuit, where the excitement is building for what I'm sure will be an exciting Formula 2 race here in Saudi Arabia. So let's examine the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, this has the potential to be a very challenging track for our young F2 drivers. We'll get a good chance to see which of them have been able to best capitalise on their time spent here in practice earlier this weekend. Like the other street circuits on the calendar, the lack of runoff is going to make sections of this track very punishing if the drivers get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid having to bring out the safety car this time around. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's results with a look at the starting grid. Teo Porcher will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from him, with Ayumu Iwasa alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Martin, Hauger, Ollie Behrman, Vesti, Doohan, Maloney, Verschoor, Victor Martins, Fittipaldi, Leclerc, Amaury Cordial, Clermont Novelak, Hadjar, Benavides, Crawford and Ralph Boschung, Daruvala, Nissani, Stanek and Kush Maini completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track. It is the Formula 2 race. It is time to introduce you to Alex Brundle. I'm Alex Jakes, and we've got changeable weather out there today. That's making for some nervous team personnel down in the paddock, down in the pit lane.
Well, uncertainty is what strategy's all about, but it absolves the teams from the responsibility of running both compounds of tyre. They might have to use that wet tyre, of course, and then the question is, where do those crossovers lie between the wet and dry conditions?
Welcome back in Saudi Arabia. We are going into the formation lap for the feature race. This time we start on the super soft tires instead of the mediums. Didn't want to risk on the strategy because maybe there will be a safety car and then you're completely done. If you start from the back of the grid, then you can try it, but at the front I didn't want to risk anything, as we are going to line up in P3, so there is a chance of a podium today, or some good points that we still have not achieved. So let's at least get into the points today, as we are waiting for the rest of the grid, as the lights are going on. And away we go for the feature race here in Jeddah. Good start from everyone. Porcher really good away. Iwasa in second place as Hauger sends it up the inside. Both Prema cars are going side by side as well into turn 1 and 2. As we are now still going side by side with Hauger, and he is ahead of us. So we immediately lost one position, as we've seen a lot of position changes through the first few corners. Let's have a look then with Victor Martins on board, as he gets a really good start compared to our teammate Richard, as he's going 3 wide with Maloney and Richard Verschoor. As there's a little bit of contact with everyone. He gets Verschoor here on the second corner. He goes side by side with Maloney into turn 3. Still going side by side through this fast first section. So there is a little bit of contact here, and still side by side. That is a really good move from Victor Martins, as he is going into the next corner. They are still side by side, still Maloney on the inside here. He is not giving up on this position, but now he has to, because Martins has the better exit. As we go back to myself, trying to catch up with Hauger. Hauger really early on the brakes, and I ran into the back of him. That is costing me my front end plate on the right. So we might see some understeer throughout the corners. Let's hope the damage isn't too bad, and just try to keep going and maybe replace that with the pit stop. To go into lap 3, DRS enabled. And trying to catch up with Hauger again. As Festi behind me is also really close. Still searching for the lack of downforce because of the front wing damage, but as you can see through here it's all pretty okay, so it doesn't seem too bad at this moment. We might see a lack of downforce later in the race when the tires are going to drop off a little bit, but we are still doing good as we've set the first sector purple and a lot of wheel spin on the exit there. As I said in qualifying yesterday, shift early towards 4th because it's quite easy to spin. So that's 2 positions lost. As Beerman is setting up an overtake here. In the back you can see Doen as well going on the outside of myself. As Ollie Beerman goes for the inside here. Doesn't get the traction out of the corner to get ahead of his teammate, but Doen still side by side with myself. So we go on board with Doen here. Going for the outside. I have a little bit of a tap with the wall there. No damage luckily. As you can see he's looking in the mirrors, but he gets the move done. As I'm trying to stay as close as possible because I have a lot better exit throughout that corner here. As you can see we are really close into the slipstream. Trying to go around the outside as he is a little bit more to the left here, but no room. So lap 5 we get another chance on Doen here. Trying it around the outside, but let's just stay behind him and get the DRS for the start-finish straight. So he has no DRS, so this should be an easy overtake. See, gaining, going for the outside and then the inside into the second turn. A little bit too deep, but we are still on his inside, but no traction out of the corner. So Doen stays ahead of me. So lap 6 we get another try on Doen. This time we are a lot closer. Going for the inside this time. Try to outbrake him as much as possible. And around the outside we go with a lot better traction this time. So that is P6 back. And now we need to catch up to both Prema cars. As we go towards lap 12, Doen managed to overtake myself again as I'm staying behind him for the DRS. But we are boxing this lap in and in. We are going for the undercut. Let's hope that it will work. So everyone is passing me right now. So let's hope there's no safety car after this, because then we will have a big problem. So a good pit stop from the team. Let's see where we will fall back, as it will be 17 seconds even more after going through there. So lap 14 now. Festi is boxing. So did the undercut undercut work for us as he goes into the pits? There they go. He might have some cars coming through, so he might need to wait a little bit. No, he doesn't. So that's a good stop from the Prema team. So let's wait and see. There am I on the left. Will we be ahead of him? It will be really close. There he goes out of the pit exit. Just about ahead of me. But he has the cold tires, so now we can push on the warmer tires here. So later into the lap, as you can see, really close to him. This time we have the DRS and he doesn't. So we have a really nice shot from the helicopter. Closing in, going for the inside into the left-hander here. Getting the move done a little bit too deep into the corner, almost colliding with him. But managed to get ahead of him, as he will have the DRS. He is closing in, going for the outside this time. A little bit of a lock up into the last corner. So I am ahead of him. Who has the DRS? That's the most important. So I have the DRS. DRS is open. I go for the outside here. Should be ahead of him before turn 1. Not really, not really. Yes, we are. And we also overtook Beerman. So the undercut on Beerman worked out. But Vesti still trying to hold on to his position. So he goes for the inside and he is back in front of me again. Trying to get my nose in here, but it's just not enough. So we at least overtook Beerman, because he needed to do another lap. So I'm still trying to stay as close as possible. Try to go for the outside, he goes to the inside. And it's again not enough. But at the end of the lap, going towards the last corner again with the DRS. And again, waiting. Because I want the DRS for turn 1. There are a lot of new fastest laps. And we are, compared to them, a little bit slow. But we have a lot of overspeed on Vesti. This time we go again for the inside. Give him enough room. Can I get the good traction out of the corner? Yes, we can. So that's P4 back. And we are 1 second ahead of him, so if I can stay this far ahead of him, then he has no DRS. We can catch up to P3. So lap 24, we have a big gap behind us, as Vesti fall down a little bit. There's 3.5 seconds to Duan and Beerman. So lap 27, we are looking at the leaders right now, Hauger and Pourchaire going into turn 1. Hauger for the inside, Pourchaire sticks it on the outside. Can he get the traction? He cannot, so Hauger stays in P1. This is the battle for the win and for the podium, because we are also closing in a little bit here. Just 8 tenths behind Iwasa. There can be gained a lot through these last 2 laps. Pourchaire, of course, quickest in the qualifying, so he should be able to overtake Hauger here. But Hauger isn't too bad himself, so expect a hard fight between those. As I am trying to catch up with Iwasa to at least try and get that podium. From no points to a podium position, that should be really good. We can at least climb a little bit on the leadership, on the leaderboard. Still not close enough for Pourchaire here. Go to the last sector. DRS open. Can he go for the inside or outside in the last corner? He goes for the outside. Will he stay behind him for the DRS, or can Hauger manage to get it? So I go really wide through the last corner. There they go side by side. Who has the DRS? It is Pourchaire and Iwasa. Can he benefit from it? So he goes for the outside on Hauger. Can he outbrake him? Yes, he can. So that's Iwasa into second place. So I go really deep into the corner as I was enjoying this battle between those guys. But I needed to keep my head down and try to get that podium position. As Hauger is losing out here from P1 to P3 in just one straight. And there's just one straight to go for him to try and at least get back. As I'm still too far back on Hauger to try and make a move on the next big straight. But it is really close. And it's not over yet. There can happen a lot in the last two sectors. So we are going to open the DRS. But will it be enough? Not for now. The last chance of overtaking for any of these four cars. As I'm a little bit too far back. But can Iwasa go for a move here into the last corner? He is really close, but he stays behind him. So that is poor Chair still in P1. And he is going to take it. Poor Chair finishing the feature race in P1. Iwasa really close, but still a really good result for him. And Hauger is the big loser out of these three. And myself in P4. As Zay Maloney takes driver of the day.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for ART today.
We've heard stories of drivers watching the race on the big screens while they're going around leading with that kind of advantage. I reckon that's what they were doing, you know, AJ.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So that's it for this weekend. We see Theo Purcher on the first place, taking 27 points, the feature race win and the qualifying pole position points. Then we see Iwasa in second place with 20 points. Then Dennis Hauger in third place with 18 points. Could have gotten more out of it, but a little bit unlucky in the end of the feature race. Then we got Jack Doohan in P4 taking 13 points. Then we got Beerman and myself with 12 points on P5 and 6. Then Victor Martens and Zane Maloney taking both 11 points. Then my teammate in Vesti with the last points. 10 points for both of them, and the rest of the field is pointless this weekend. So let's see the driver standings. We got Purcher taking the first spot. Then we got Dennis Hauger in second, Deruvela in third, Vesti fourth, Jack Doohan in fifth, Iwasa in sixth. Then we got my teammate in 7, Beerman in 8, 9 for Victor Martens. Novalak in 10, myself in 11. Then we got Zane Maloney in 12, close behind us, just 1 point. Then we have Hajar in 13th position, then Leclerc in 14th, Cordeel and the rest behind have 0 points. So they still need to score some points here. And for the constructors, it is MP Motorsport in first place, then ART, then comes Prema, then it is our team. Then we got Dams in 5th place, close behind us, so we need to score a bit more points and try to catch up with Prema. Virtuosi is in 6th, then we got Trident in 7th, Carlin following in 8th, High Tech in 9th, and both PHM and Campos Racing are still pointless. As these standings are a little bit different, that's because my save game got ruined. For some reason the game put my AI on 35 and all my settings were gone. So I had to restart this season. I just DNF'd Bahrain race because I had no points in those two. So there is a little bit of a switch up in the standings than last race, but it's not really that much of a difference because I had no points, and it's basically about how many points I get. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys in the next race in Australia.